What's up, y'all? It is Well When Women Crush Wednesdays, and you are listening to a special edition of For the Artists, a podcast brought to you by Creative M Projects. I'm your host, Melissa Cherie, and I have the wonderful, great pleasure of having a woman with me on today that I definitely am crushing on. Y'all know what it is when I got a crush. That means that woman got it going on. She got some depth, okay, to her soul and her spirit.
Ooh,
So this is Shawne Reddic. Let me tell you about her, y'all.
yes.
She is also known as the holistic hair guru, certified holistic health practitioner. She's known for healing hair the holistic way, and she's been in the beauty industry for 10 years licensed. But listen, I already know 26 years as a natural hairstylist, braids, locks, I mean, everything. You name it, she could probably do it, y'all. Her journey started 22 years ago, and she looks what, 21 and a
22.
half. But her journey started, she was a medical assistant who had the desire of
Yeah.
helping others heal and be well. Woo, that's my language right there. Heal
Yes.
and be
Yes. And
well.
be well. Yes.
Yes, she was on a journey for a short period of time when she realized that freedom came from within. Put a parking lot right there because we need to get back to that. For
And
some
that's
reason,
it.
she felt trapped, not being able to speak spiritually to her patients. She knew that healing was a spiritual preservation in which she thought was welcomed in the medical field, but she found out that wasn't the case. So she turned her passion and her hobby of doing hair into a successful business, and she walked away from corporate America. Drop the mic. There's more to her bio, but I'm gonna drop the mic there and say hello. Say hello.
Hey, 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 hey. She has arrived, okay?
Yes, honey, you have arrived. Let me tell you, I see you doing your thing on social media. I mean, you stay out there, girl, dropping knowledge and information. I
I,
love that.
I try. Well, I am. I am. It gets hard, but it's a passion that I have to feed and to make people whole again. So I just see that as a platform. At first, I wanted to stay away from social media. I thought it was the devil. I thought it was going to attack, come against. And then I kind of tapped into my spirit and opened up and said, what way could I use this where it doesn't use me?
Hmm.
So I decided to just grow with people and educate them. And every time I thought I knew something, honestly, I wouldn't post it or things like that. And the Holy Spirit would come back to me and says, everybody don't know what you know. So I
Mm.
had to stop second guessing myself and my knowledge and thinking that everyone was on the same playing field as me. And there is some people on the same playing field as me, but that is those who are into the medical field or the holistic realm or wellness. But there's so many other people out there that needs to be well that I was holding back so much information over the time, not realizing that I was doing them harm and myself no good with the gifts that have been given to me. So I opened up a lot over the years and began to just use that as my ministry.
Girl, let me tell you, okay, there's a lot of people out there, in the healing field. There's a lot of people out there in the hair field. But
Yes.
baby girl, you is in your own field by yourself, okay? You have
Oh,
created
thank
a
you.
lane, and
I
that's not
did.
what you intended to do, I'm sure, but you are the only person. That's what's so unique about what you're doing. I don't know
Thank
anyone
you
else who is combining those two things.
too. So it's so funny that you say that because I am a trailblazer and I started to do that on my page and I started to question, like I say, second guess. And I would ask my daughter is 20 years, my age. And I began to ask her, like, babe, why nobody likes nothing that I'm putting on my page? And she says, Mom, because you're not doing nothing popular. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, you're not doing the hairstyles they want to see. You stop doing weaves. You stop doing certain things. She was like, you're talking about healthy hair. And she was like, you're just not populated right now. And I was like, that's crazy. But I didn't give up. I
Hmm.
asked the question, but I didn't give up. And I went away from looking at the likes to getting into just being myself and
Yeah.
stop looking in other people's backyards on social media and what they were doing. And
Hmm.
then, long and behold, people started reaching out to me asking me, can I teach them? And that's when I knew I was on to something. It was hairstylists out there like, hey, what is that machine you're using? Hey, what is that you're doing? And I was just like, oh my God, they do see me. They may not like or communicate, but they do. And so I set up my social media page as a business page. And then I started going into the analytics side of everything. And I started seeing like, no, honey, a lot of people are seeing you. They just may not be, commenting or, giving you information or socializing or liking it. And I started realizing like I started going on the back side of the social media and started paying attention to my statistics.
Mm.
And the more people reached out to me, the more I started creating courses to educate and create a platform. So you're right. No one was interested. And now people are diving in left and right. And I just opened up a door.
You know what I love about that? It really speaks to staying with what is on your heart. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times people easily get blown by the trends, or you know what I
Yes,
mean? You can't follow that and
yes.
you will drive yourself crazy just trying to it's basically people pleasing, right?
Melissa, I literally what you're saying, would look at all these other stylists, celebrity stylists, people with product lines that was blowing up. And there was a sense of envy, a spirit. And God does not agree with that spirit. And
Mhm.
I would be looking like, well, how come they have that and I don't have it? How come they're doing it? How are they? And then I was just going crazy. And I just said, wait a minute. Like, and I was just like, the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you don't know what the hell they went through to get to where they're at. You
Mhm.
don't know what sacrifices they made. So stop being envious or jealous of what they're doing and how it's blowing up for them. They may have a whole team and it's just you.
Mhm.
So I began to correct my emotions and solidify who I am and validate me and feel complete and whole, and was like, no, you didn't come this far to compare yourself to someone else. You have something great, and allow yourself to go forth in your greatness. And then I kind of started my page all the way over, all the way over.
Wow. You started your page all the way over. So you're talking about some time then. That some
Yes,
time has gone by for you to get from the place where you were to the
yes,
place that you are, and for you to be able to turn the page over.
around.
I mean, how
Yes.
did you do that? What did you pull up on to make that
So
happen?
5 years. It's about 5 years. Just 5 years. It's just 2016. Okay.
Okay.
I started a product line where I was doing special treatments to my clients' hair that was having hair loss. And they would love the aromas and they would love the treatments. And they were like, oh, do you have some for me to take home? And I was like, no, I just have my herbal tea. And so I formulated the oils that I was using in their hair during the treatment. I began to bottle it up. I started with 6 bottles. It ended up being 10 bottles, then 20 bottles. So it started to grow and then it outgrew me to the point where God began to show me like visions of what it looks like, what it's going to be like. And I stayed true to the promise, the vision that He gave me. And every time that I got discouraged, I reminded myself where I started. Okay. It started in your salon, helping one client with hair loss, and
Mhm.
then 2 clients with hair. So I began to be encouraged by each person because He says, if I could reach one person, then I've done my job. So I've taken scripture and
Mhm.
literally applied it to my daily living and was like, if I could just reach one person. And then it started to multiply and multiply. And it was a time that I'm gonna be honest with you, with my packaging of my product. I went to try to get it on the shelf in the store, and the lady ripped a new hole in my ass. Okay,
What?
no, girl, look, I was like
Wow.
this, like I felt so small
Mhm.
that I went against, and this is a word right here. I went against the vision that God gave me
Mm.
and tried to turn my product around to meet the qualifications to be in her store. I tried to dumb myself down for one person,
Mhm.
and we could always block our blessing off of one word, one action, one person trying to, like, the power just overcame me, and I changed my whole product, the whole label, to fit her shelf, and she never let me in till this day.
Whoa.
that was a hard lesson for me. And the lesson was keep my eye on the sparrow. Baby, stay the course.
Stay the
It's only
course.
been 2 or 3 years that I changed the package back to the vision God gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And I sell more to people than to be in that one store. And I always get compliments like, oh my God, what made you? Is that a face coming out of the teacup? And is it? And listen, I just was like, this is what it was supposed to be all along.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that we will come across a road barrier, a roadblock, a wall. But that wall is not meant to keep us there, baby. I did not want to stay with that wall in front of me. I said, what I got to do to knock down the wall? He said, you better walk around it 7 times, honey. I turned into Jericho. Okay? I said, no, the devil is, honey, I met a great graphic designer and I gave him the vision. I said, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what I have already. And I am where I'm at today because determination.
Mm-hmm.
Determination.
You know, listen to that story, and I know you understand what I'm talking about. I know you said a roadblock, but I think
Girl.
the reality is, I just talked about this something similar this morning in terms of with a friend, in terms of just like spirits, right? Spiritual activity. It's like sometimes we will encounter people that have a spirit of jealousy, a spirit of anger, like whatever the spirit is,
Yes.
right? And it's directed at us for like no apparent reason whatsoever, just,
Yeah.
out the blue. And it's like, if we are not tuned in and perceptive to what is really going on, because you know how it says it's not people, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual things.
And principalities.
It's like
in high
places. Like,
he was in a higher place than me.
It's like some of those things come. I feel like, it could be a test. It could be whatever it is,
Yes.
you know what I mean? To take us off course.
Right.
But I love how you may not have caught it right in the instant, but you caught it. And that's all that matters, right? Is that we catch it.
Made her my God
Mm-hmm.
in that moment. She became power over me.
Yeah.
She became everything. And then when I sent the email, like, hey, here's the new packaging, I was ignored. And then I was reprimanded for leaving flyers in her store without her permission.
Wow.
So it was just kind of like, I was like, wait, she's a pillar in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But is this how you do? And the question she asked me is, what makes your product be that price when I already got some tea over here that has similar thing? And I said, but they don't have all, and they don't also have the percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are threatened by knowledge.
Yeah.
So my feedback was to give to, like, you asked me a question, let me make you aware of why, but it just didn't matter. I just was never good enough for her.
Mm-hmm.
For her. So when I went back to God's vision,
mm-hmm.
and hell, I'm great. I'm great over here. I don't need that store. It's like,
you don't.
It's like word of mouth. Like, even after that, he blessed me to be in the Fox Hills Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after that, he was like, you want her store? Let me show you a store I could give you. Like, you have your whole cart in the mall. Like, let me take you out. Let me even give you a brick and mortar, a storefront. Like, he's like, what do you want, girl? I'll give it to you. Just trust me. Yeah. I was like, wait, hold on. Okay. Let me look back in Maya.
You cracking me up. Oh my goodness. But you know what I have to say too about your products? You talking about percentages when she's talking about, the cost or whatever, the value that you bring. I mean, you as in Shawne Reddic. The value that you bring in terms of your touch on the product, I know you pray, you know what I mean? It's like, so just because you determine your value, or God determines your value, but we can't let other people determine our value. You know what I mean? And that's priceless. I'm gonna tell you, I have a personal experience with your product. First of all, because when my husband and I got sick in the beginning of 2020, which we believe it was what it was. You already know the C word.
Girl,
but girl, we was steaming.
Uh,
with your oils.
come on,
We
the
were steaming with
revive.
your
Yes,
oils
yes.
3 times a day.
Mm.
And there have been a couple times when I've told people, well, I feel bad because I told them I was going to send them some, and I didn't get
Oh,
it off in time.
yeah. Hey, the
But
website available to everybody. They could have ordered it too.
oh, but I was trying to do something nice and I just didn't even
Right.
get it done. But
So
anyway,
true.
anywho, my point
You sowed the
is,
seed. You sowed the seed.
so to see, my point is though, like, the value of your product is not just the ingredients that are in it. It's you.
Thank you.
It's you
It
and what
is.
you carry and what you bring.
It's a lot because literally I cook them
Mm-hmm.
and I make sure I watch the temperature of them. I walk them around my house.
Mm-hmm.
The energy and the vibration in the house when I do it is always calm. It's a process, and my thoughts and my wellness that I'm giving and offering while I'm doing this, I make sure that I'm connected to the source that's also mindful. And there's some good people where I actually buy my oils from.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the whole process. How we wipe off the glass, but like no one knows what I do. We wipe it off. How we close off this area that I'm in right here. My daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes and does the second part in peace in the pouring and the labeling and everything. So she understands my walk and respects it. And it's just from the beginning to the end. We want wellness to come through the bottle to bless the person receiving the bottle. So I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate you saying that. I really do.
It's just the truth. Now
It's a
I
lot
gotta
of
ask.
work. It's a lot of
Yeah, I
work.
know it is. I know it is. Now
It's a
listen,
lot of
I
work.
gotta ask you this because there's always a motivation behind the things that we are compelled to do. And so, obviously with creative and projects, there is an underlying current or thread of healing, right? That we want to happen for people. Um,
Right.
or for them to experience, and hopefully we create things that help them do that, mentally,
Mhm.
spiritually, and emotionally. And so I want to know where your motivation comes from in terms of your desire to want to bring healing and wellness to people. Like, where does that come from?
Oh, that is an excellent, excellent question.
If you feel like sharing,
I
because it could be deep. I don't know.
yeah, because it's the fabric. I'm cut from a different cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And there's three of us. Me and my two sisters. I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have this anointing and this gift of higher power, empathic gift on us.
Okay.
Um, since a little girl, I knew I could see, feel, and hear things. I wasn't raised in a church back then like that. So I didn't understand. Like my other sister would always feel like there was ghosts around us and different things. And then the older sister was told to teach us that we could do magic. Like that's how God explained to her about us. Like we can make things move, or we could see things before it happened. And so I'm 4 years under my oldest sister. So I'm like terrified, but not terrified because she's saying it in a gentle way.
Mm-hmm.
All my life, I've wanted to heal people. When someone was sick in the family, I would go and just be like, oh, you're going to be well. Oh, let me see your temperature. Oh, you need your medicine. And then I'll say, can I pray over you? I've always just been this way.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was 12 years old, I wanted to have a product line.
Mm-hmm.
I've been braiding hair since I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pressing hair since I was 14, literally making money.
Wow.
I've never had a money problem. Never. The great thing is that when I touch you,
Mm-hmm.
there is a radiation of energy
Mm-hmm.
unexplainable that compels me to want to do more. And to tell you, it has nothing to do with, oh, I need to provide for my children. Oh, no, it is literally the people that he puts in my path that I am compelled to to just do more, like to give them insight, to tell, because he speaks to me like when I see them. So I immediately want to tell them, I want them to come out of that situation. I want them to understand, like, people always say about me, like, it's not that I'm confrontational, but they always say, you think you know everything. But
Ah.
it's because the higher voice is always telling me. And I
Mhm.
asked them, like, well, why don't you tap in? Like, how come you can't? Like, how come you don't hear what? And so it's like always a different. I vibrate on a higher level, but I've always dumbed down. Fuck it,
Mhm.
let's just say it. I've always vibrated on a higher level, but the people that was around me, I would always dumb down.
Mhm.
And I wanted to do something about that.
Okay.
And so I always wanted to touch, heal, and deliver his word. And I never denied it. I was afraid of it. I used to smoke weed to try to shut it up. And I could hear the voice even more.
Whoa.
Baby, more. And so I said, if I can't shut this voice up, let me try to identify who or what this voice is.
Mhm.
And he told me literally to give him a chance. He said, you've had your life in your hands. It hasn't gone the way you wanted it. He said, gamble with me. And if I don't make it better, he said, you can go back to your own life.
Mm.
I gave him a chance. I stopped smoking weed. I asked him, if it's you, make my lips pink again, because they were dark. When I say he cleared up every demon in my spirit where I can see light again in me,
Yeah.
that is my driving force. Is
Mm.
because I know we get stuck. I know we're dealing with entities out here. I know we're skeptical. I know we're uncertain. I know that lies have become truth and truth has become lies. But I cannot deny who I am. And that's my motivation. It's the fabric of who I am. Every thread. I am top shelf, but I always come down to bring somebody else up.
Yes! That was poetic, girl. I got the snaps going on that
I was like, when there's so much more, does she want me to stop? Because honey, I just,
one. Girl, that is good, okay? Oh my goodness. I mean, I love the confidence. It's not arrogance, but the confidence, the knowing. You know what I mean? And
I beat myself up for too long, for too many men, for
yeah.
too many jealous people, for people that's insecure. Like I've done myself down just to make them feel comfortable.
Mhm.
And God told me that is not why I sent you in that environment. You're in that atmosphere to set the tone. Let them get uncomfortable. He said, because they got to go. And it's the
Mhm.
spirit. It's not the person, but the people want to hold on to the spirit. But
Yeah.
some people literally quiver and shake or turn their head. And I'm like, oh, ooh, okay. Because I can see through bullshit.
Mhm.
It gets deep.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to wellness, especially I'm not even going to say especially for females, but
Mm,
just in terms of wellness, there is and it's part of its culture, part of it is society, part of it is, some other stuff going on. But you brought up a really great point because the struggle of not being comfortable
mm,
being who we are, right? To
mm-hmm,
fit into some sort of standard or norm
mm-hmm.
that somebody else has presented or is presenting, it
Right.
keeps us from flowing in the things that we were naturally born and given to do.
And so you said comfortable, but people struggle with being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
They're
that's
comfortable
true.
in their shit,
Mm-hmm.
but I shake a house and everyone gets uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want the earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't stay where you're at. You can't be like that. You can't be well and say you love someone,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you have these entities that's using you or coming against you to attack that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's not wellness. That's not well. Like I deal in my clinic, I deal with emotion and energy.
Mm-hmm.
We are a community that have trapped emotions lodged in so many body systems, which is our organs. And every time that we are stuck, stagnant, complacent, we're not allowing our full potential, our full purpose to be manifested. And so I always explain to people that's like the saying you go 10 steps forward and then
Mm-hmm.
10 steps back. It's like, why every time I get so? Because we got to remove that last bit of the cervix. See, when someone's pregnant, they're about to have a baby, you got to dilate 10 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't like when the centimeters get closer and closer because it's more pain, more complication, more issues. You don't your breathing starts becoming irrational because you're not sure, like, oh my God, the contractions. It's like, yes, but if you relax
Mm-hmm.
and if you trust the process,
Mm-hmm.
you will give birth to a blessing. And a lot of times we are impregnated, we are pregnant with gifts,
Mm-hmm.
possibilities, opportunities, and we have abortions,
Mm-hmm.
miscarriages, stillborn births.
Mm-hmm.
This is all metaphorically speaking of how God sees us to the real flesh. Like he gave Melissa a blessing, a seed in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
How many miscarriages and abortions have you had before you were able to give birth to a healthy being, a healthy situation that now I'm invited on this platform?
Mm-hmm.
Our journey, we journey along. It's like, what happened? Discouraged. What happened? Fear. What happened? Jealousy. What happened? Greed. Like, there's so many emotions that we allow to come in to actually allow us to forget that we have to cultivate what he has deposited in us.
Yes.
We just
Mm-hmm.
gotta, I damn near aborted my product line that was one tea
Mm-hmm.
that now has a cabinet full of stuff. See, I had twins, I had multiples, I got a whole flock of kids now. But because the one that I was gonna let somebody else tell me wasn't good enough,
Mm-hmm.
God said, no, 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 no. I was gonna go through premature labor, but I caught it in time. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I got to nurture the rest of the seed along the way. Like, we have to look at the seeds that are deposited in us, and we have to have respect for what God has given us and say, what you have given me is enough. And I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to sow this seed. That's like the man in the Bible with the 3 talents.
Mm-hmm.
One buried it, one spent it all up, and one invested. He gives us all gifts.
Mm-hmm.
We all have talents. What are we doing with it along the way? What are we doing with it? And this is how I journey. This is my motivation.
This is your motivation. This is how I journey. That sounds like a song.
I know, right? You're the writer. You're the writer.
Hey, okay, so let's stay in this emotional lane for a minute because I know that you do work with other women around this specifically, but I want to ask you personally, like, how are you? Is this something that you do on the daily? For somebody that might be listening, like, do you pay attention to what's emotionally going on with you on the daily, or is it something that's like weekly, as you are led? Like, how does that work for you?
So in my own life, in my
Mm-hmm.
own situations,
Yeah.
um, I'm always tapping in. And what I mean by tapping in is I'm literally always seeking him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm consulting God. I'm always seeking him. I'm always looking for him to validate me or to show me, like, my prayers throughout the day, at night. I'm very mindful, because I know this life is not my own and there's no telling who I'm going to come across, and I need to be prepared to either receive or to give
Mm-hmm.
in any kind of capacity. So this is a daily, this is a every second, every moment. Like even before coming here, I wanted to tap out and quit before this interview. I just was, because I'm overwhelmed, I'm emotionally drained. And he
Yeah.
came inside of me and he was just like, you don't give up. Someone's waiting on the other side. Someone needs your pain. There's a story through our pain. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, you're gonna be well. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do this and you're gonna have fun. And it's just like, let me tell you, I'm enjoying myself in this moment. But if I let that emotion before I came to this podcast, if I allowed that emotion to have power over me, you would have got an email and you would have been disappointed that you were prepared and I pulled out at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And see, our God is not a failing God, and our God's word does not return void. And
Mm-hmm.
I asked him for opportunities like this. I have to be ready for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for. And so we need to get out of our own way. We're in our own way. We always struggle. We always battle. We're always trying to justify our actions. You know, but it's like, put your guard down.
Yeah.
Consult him.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
literally ask him to navigate my path. And you have to be open enough to see along the path when he wants you to stop, speak to someone, love on someone, bless someone, listen to some people. Just when they just need this ear. You know, we got to know our role. Like, to me, I look out at this world and I'm like, there is a lot of selfish people. It's always about them, always
Mm-hmm.
about how they feel, always about what they want, what they need.
Yeah.
But it's always about, oh, I could do this for myself. I don't need no man. I got this. But it's like, honey, that's not what God intended.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And when you vibrate on a lower level, you're gonna attract all that lower level shit. And then you're gonna get burnt out and tired, because he says every knee shall bow. So then when you bowing down to him, asking him for forgiveness and saying, what did I do, and everything, and then when he's ready to correct you, you want to go up against him and say, that is not true. I did not do that. I did not say that. Well, then he sends you a messenger to confirm what he already had a conversation with you about. Listen, this is a daily discipline for me. And when this situation happened in the universe,
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with it only because it was a reset to the computer system. But I
Yeah.
was not okay with it because it took away my discipline of my spirituality, of going to church. But it did teach me that church is in me. But I am one that likes to fellowship amongst other people.
Well, and we supposed to do that. It says forsake not that fellowship, the assembling of ourselves,
Exactly.
the coming together.
So it's like, right. So how could I deny showing up on your platform
Mm-hmm.
where you have a calling and you're on an assignment, and I am just a piece of your puzzle? How dare I leave the puzzle piece missing because of my own emissions?
Mm-hmm.
No. You committed, you show up. The devil's always going to attack before you show up, because that's his job, because he knows how purposeful and powerful it's going to be. And he knows who it's going to connect to. So his job is supposed to come kill, steal, and destroy. So if I would have allowed myself to stay in that emotion, then he would have got the glory, not God. That's why the devil can't stand me. Baby.
You know, but a lot of this does come with I feel like it comes by not only maturity but by choice. Like, I wish I could have been listening to two ladies like ourselves talk about some of the things that we talking about, 10, 15 years ago. Because like you, from a very young age, I always sought God, was seeking God, was, wanting to walk with God. I mean, I didn't call it that at the time, but I was just given to the Lord from a very young age. But there was a lot of this other stuff that, like, I just didn't know and nobody taught me, in terms of emotional things going on, And so even now, I have to check myself. Go ahead.
no, no, no checking yourself. That's why that's why he created us in that season to have that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So because he works outside of time. He
Amen.
knew what, he knew what was going to be needed
That's
in
true.
this season.
Mm-hmm.
So he works outside of time. So he procreated us in that season to endure that revelation so
Mm-hmm.
that we could be here and have this type of conversation so that we could move this thing called the world forward
Mm-hmm.
with our spirit beings, because we're spiritual, we're spirits first. So
Right.
no, we were supposed to come through in the 70s and early 80s to go through the 90s, look at the 2000s and be like, damn, he doesn't make no mistake. We're right on time.
Right on time.
But today's podcast,
Mm-hmm.
today's nonprofit organization,
Mm-hmm.
today's artistry
Mm-hmm.
had to go through all of that so that it could be matured
Yeah.
for this season. Who in the hell knew we was going to be in a pandemic?
Clearly none of us.
But he never left us nor forsake us.
Mm-hmm.
And those who were ready, when he
Mm-hmm.
sowed the seed during that season, the floodgates are now open. We're still in a transition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the doors are opening. And he said, you fit the part. You fit the part. Because you had to have done the work before we can get to this level.
Had to do the work.
You
Had to do the work.
You labor. This right now is enjoyment for you.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't work for you. This is easy for you in front of this mic looking cute like that and reaching people. This is not work for us. Girl, bye. This is a walk in the park. We've labored to get to this level. To say, girl, 245. Okay, I'll be there. Because any other time it wouldn't be 245 to be like, hold on, I gotta wait till I get off work. I gotta clock out of somebody else's institution. Listen.
Yep.
We've done that already.
Mm-hmm.
This is elevation. Everybody needs to respect their level of elevation. And it's not because of your own. It's because you said yes to the call.
Yes. Yes.
So we are on time.
We are on time.
And this is feeding me. I'm telling you, when I say I was spiritually drained, emotionally drained,
Mm-hmm.
you are feeding me. This is food for the soul. I'm like ready to go in that kitchen now and cook dinner. I'm ready for what's next.
Yes.
I was so drained.
Well, you know what? That just speaks to something else that we need to highlight while we on here. The power of being connected to the right people that do bring us to that place of elevation, that do feed our spirit, feed our soul. We have to pay attention to the people that we allow ourselves to, be around.
Exactly.
Where we're investing our time.
Girl.
Energy. And relationships are just as important as the things that we're, what I mean? Like the tangible, like producing type things.
Yes.
I don't know how to say that better right now, but write a paper, whatever. But it's like the relationships that we have with people are of high value.
They are. And in regards to, you said, you made the comment and said tapped in, the things we're connected to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that I want to share with you that God had really spoke to me back in 2018. Okay. Mm-hmm. I had a cart in the mall.
Okay.
At the Fox Hills Mall. I had a cart in the Fox Hills Mall. And I only did a 3-month lease. Okay. I just did a summer lease. Like, let me check it out. Let me see how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
in in actuality 2019. And thank God I did, because look what we walked into in 2020, right?
Right.
All the malls got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But you were making a point about connection, and God had came to me because I was crying to him, and I was just saying, oh my God, I know I asked you for this, I know I wanted to be in this mall. I said, but it's pulling on me, it's draining me. I said, everything that I'm every time I make money, it's going right back out. I said, where's the profit? Baby, he said, first of all, you connected to the wrong source.
Mm.
He said, you acting like a cell phone that's battery dead connected to an outlet when you need to be connected to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, hold on. I'm connected to the wrong. Like, he said, you're outwardly expressing and outwardly going through things, but yet it's always from here. It's
Mm-hmm.
vertical. This is between me and you. He says, you have the money though.
Mm.
You acting like you don't have the money for it to go back out to pay for the products, to pay for your booth, my kiosk there. He was like, you acting like you don't have the product the money to pay for your employees.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's not time to make a profit. Girl, I must have, because I was closed in my shop. I must have opened up the curtains after that and was like, let me get my attitude together. Because there's a time to sow and there's a time to reap.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the reaping season yet.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sow. So when we're connected, we got to be connected to the right source.
Yes.
And we got to know what season we in.
Gotta know.
And when we're in those seasons, we got to respect that it don't look pretty. Now, how many pregnant women look all nowadays they trying to look glamorous and everything, but your nose change, your neck get darker, you get bloated, you don't feel right hormonally. Like, baby, pregnancy is not a pretty thing. And that's a seed that God has sown into that woman at that time. Listen, being pregnant with his gift is just as ugly and uncomfortable. You're going to get stretch marks. You're going to get battle wounds. You're going to go through some things.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, when you birth that gift, like this podcast, you like, I did that. Like, that was a good interview. Like, come on, sis. You enjoyed the fruits of your labor. When a woman has a baby, they forget all about the pain. Look at my child. Oh my God. Like, you become maternal now.
Mm-hmm.
Who you gonna let come in and destroy what you have been through and all that to build to this up?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, bye. Nobody. We gotta respect where we're at and what season we're in. Every woman, every man has to.
Yeah. That's a powerful point. Powerful point that you just made. Because in the Jewish calendar, this is what is it? It's called, I think, a sabbatical year. Is that what it's called? And basically, it's like a year of no work. I mean, can you imagine a whole year? I mean, I have trouble sometimes just keeping my Sabbath. That's just one day. But a whole year. But I mean, God sets things up in a certain way, as in a certain order for a certain reason. There's a purpose, and and it's like we have to be willing, like you said, respect the season that we're in.
You have to know it. Like, you're okay. God is so awesome. So we're here, right?
Yeah.
With our wellness, our well-being, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a healer, but a healer needs to be healed too.
Yes.
I'm very strong willed,
Mm-hmm.
but a strong person also needs some strength too, right?
Right.
So the tapping in, when we're talking about in the connection, I'm telling you that I've been emotionally drained, overwhelmed. But every time I talk about this atmosphere, I'm always energized. I'm there for it. I feel better. I feel relieved. I feel good, right? But I was just literally crying last night, like telling him, I feel like I have nothing going on in my life. Like, I just finished school. My oldest one's graduating in December. My youngest one graduates in June. Like, my business is already it's already doing what it's supposed to be doing. I'm like, what's next? He literally said to me, nothing. So when you're talking about a sabbatical, I'm there. And when you're so used to being pulled and busy, I said, how the hell do I sit still? That's the season I'm in. I'm not in a want season. I'm not in a deprived season. I'm not in a pulled season. I am just here. And I have to learn, Melissa. I'm crying like crazy. Like, where are these tears coming from? What's going on? Because I'm in a different space.
Yes.
And I'm grateful, but I'm like terrified because I'm not used to being in a bestow mode. I'm telling you, girl, anxiety. I'm used to my adrenal glands being depleted. I'm used to being like, girl, what time? Okay, we done, gotta go, like on to the next. Honey, I'm like here for it. This is how I'm here for it. I made a glass of water with chlorophyll. I'm here for it. I
Yes.
would look, I even bought a banana just in case. Like, my life has changed. I've elevated.
This is confirmation. I was just talking about on this past Sunday with a friend, and I was saying how we are in a season. Sometimes we're in the season, right? Now, we may have prayed to be in another season, and we may have been praying for a long time. Like I'm talking when I say long, I'm talking about years. Years to be in this other season. And then you
Right.
come up and you realize, oh shoot, like this is it. Like this is the season that I prayed for 5 years ago. Like I think I'm in
I
it,
think I'm
right?
in for
But inside you're still holding on to the previous season because you're so used to that season, and
it.
now you're like, I don't know if I really even want this season. Like this don't feel right. Like,
Right.
am I really supposed to be here? Am I really supposed to have this? It's like, no, you pray for that. Yes, move into that season and let go of the one that you are no longer to be in. It's okay.
And again, the tears. I am crying because they're tears of joy, but I'm overwhelmed. Like, I started this journey as a mother at the age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally looking at my kids like they've grown with me, but I'm really looking at them like self-sufficiency is really upon them. Like, I'm about to be an empty nester, but in a good way. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like I'm mourning something right now.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
learning something right now.
Uh-huh.
And what you just said, I have to come in agreement that it's okay for me to let go.
Yeah.
Because I'm so and girl, I almost tore the relationship up. Okay. My relationship, because it's going through its own elevation.
Mm-hmm.
And the other party on the other side is used to being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling him it can't stay like this.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to make some changes. And so 60 days in of celibacy, the
Mm-hmm.
man is going crazy. I probably am too. That's why these emotions is out. But he's hard headed, but he's starting to get it.
Mm.
And now he's realizing, he's like, whoa, the spirit just said to me today that you just need some time alone real quick. You just need to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to force myself on you when it's not that season. I said, listen, you heard right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no love lost. I just have to step away for a minute
Mm-hmm.
and get my antennas and my frequency together.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I can do nothing but respect that. But it had to come from the most high. Because
Mm-hmm.
every time I was voicing it to him, he was hearing something else, breaking up and not being together, and just all kind. Men here so different.
Mm-hmm.
But being celibate and having no distractions of the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
he's able to hear clearly. And now he could take us to because the role is shifting in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer at the front. Now he's like the shift. Now it's time for me to stand behind him. And because when he was going through a loss of family members and feeling depressed and lack and midlife crisis, I was there for him. And now the shoe is on the other foot. And he's realizing like, whoa, I was thinking about this all wrong. And so we have to, we help each other. We help each other. There's a balance,
Yeah.
but we got to stay tapped in.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stay tapped
Gotta
in.
stay tapped in. So your creativity obviously continues to flow as you remain in a place of wellness.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
does. Um, just during last year, 2020, I was laying down and I kept hearing the voice, the words, protect your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tossing and turning. I'm like, protect my energy. And I'm tossing, I'm turning. So I jump up because I can't sleep. And I go in the dining room and I start taking notes, protect your energy. And I was like, God, what do you mean by protect your energy? And he starts showing me visualizations of little small particles falling through the earth that we can't see,
Mm-hmm.
but that is disrupting our cellular level.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. So I started looking up radiation, EMFs, and then I started going into magnets, all that. And then, girl, on day like 5 hours later, now mind this is middle of the night. Now I'm about the sun up. 5 hours later, I got 5 pages of notes, and
Mm-hmm.
I found a Germany company that could create a product for me. That's a bracelet. I have it over here. It's a pie bracelet, and it has different minerals on the back of it that touches your skin, that helps with the potassium, chloride, sodium, and ions. And it protects your energy from emitting EMFs and radiation that we cannot see. And that
Well.
comes through our electronical devices. So it's like I could be at peace minding my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I'm an open portal and bold, he was like, oh yeah, let me deposit that in her. Let me see what she's gonna do with that information. And I ran with it,
Wow.
and it helps. It even helps the magnets and everything. It even helps with the cardiovascular system. It helps people that's dealing with carpal tunnel. Magnets are so powerful. And then it has crystals like some of the geranium, which helps to protect from negative energy. It keeps it's an infrared lighting on there that helps to keep the body temperature down. I mean, as a visionary, like it doesn't stop. I only thought I was gonna have one product, and he just continues to show me, I need you to produce this. I protect you. And it's never like he'll just give me something. I mean, like he used words, protect your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw magnets, then I saw things. So it's like a whole, and I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? So I'm like looking these things up, and I'm just taking notes and notes and notes and notes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is amazing.
That is
And then
amazing.
found a course on it because it's physics, and found a
Mm.
course on it.
Mm-hmm.
Found a course. It's called Emotion Code.
Mm-hmm.
Paid for the course, took the course, became a certified emotion code practitioner
What?
last year, using magnets to help people change the frequency in their body and remove trapped emotions.
Girl, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We need to connect for some other stuff that we want to
Yes,
do with the organization, but we can talk offline about that.
definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
So, where can people find all of these things? You know, if they want to get this magnet bracelet, if they want some revive, if
Right.
they want some tea, I mean, you need to tell us all that goodness. Where to
So
go?
I have a holistic market called Botanical 7 Holistic Market, and you could find a variety of products. One product always could be used for multiple purposes. So it's at Botanical 7, and the number spelled out, the number 7. Equid is ecwid.com. So botanical7.equid.com. That's my online store. And then we're also in Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California. The beautiful thing about what you said, what I was mentioning about the products being multiple use, is holistic products. You should be able to use them topically and to be able to ingest them. And
Mm,
so that's the benefit behind holistic healing. It's not just something that's always just topically on the body, but you can use it multiple ways. And so our Ayurveda powders, there you can make it as a hair mask or a facial or a poultice in case you have like injury or something. And it's just so beneficial to be on this side of the spectrum to help people heal holistically. Is it's it's something that we've always used to do until Western medicine took away our rights and made everything be through the American Medical Association.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to use my words
Carefully.
yes,
Strategically. Yes,
exactly.
girl, drop the knowledge strategically.
Right. Because the goal to them was to say that um, oils and things like of that nature, not the oils for our hair, but the oils that we cook with, and to say that that was bad and causing cholesterol. But in actuality, they did that. Like I said earlier, lies become truth, truth become lies. So what they did was they lied and made it like it was the truth. And then they told the truth and made it like it was a lie. You get what I'm saying? The vice versa. So they said oil was bad for us to dumb us down, and then for them to put sugar, carbohydrates as a binder in everything as a food preservative. So that's why we have the diabetes. That's why we have the high blood sugar levels. That's why we have cardiovascular issues. It's not the oil. 60% of our brain is made out of oil. So when they stopped us from oiling our brain, if you get what I'm saying, by our food, that's how the onset of dementia, Alzheimer's. So the thing was to flip something to kill us slowly.
Girl.
If we take this away from them and we give them this and they don't know, we've never been this big before in our lives. We've naturally had healthy bodies since at the 80s. The weather, everything was so different. They pharmaceutical, they CDC, all of they's over there, them over there had an agenda, and they're okay with their agenda, even if this generation here like doesn't get to see it through. We know that the agenda will still live on. So they knew the mass destruction that they were doing with our health. And now we are trying to reverse it and take it back. And I think that's why God decided to move me from here into the spiritual realm more holistically, so that I could use both to navigate his people while they're in the chair over to the health side. Because it's time that we take back what the devil stole from us.
That's dope, girl. That was so eloquent how you put that.
I tried.
But I don't even want to say but. It's like what I mean, again, this goes back to the top when we first started. What I love about how you're moving, right? In terms of just your essence, your being, everything that you're bringing to the world, to the table, to people, is that there's so much separation. It's almost like, you think about church and state, right?
Yes.
And how they try to, it's like same thing. We do that. I think as a collective, as a people, we try to separate spirit as though it's something separate, something different. It's like, no, we cannot separate it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like there is spirit touching everything. Everything has spirit.
Everything.
And so you are a living testament to the fact that you cannot separate those things.
You can't.
Everything touches spirit, even getting your hair done.
You're a vessel. You're a temple. My energy. Like, I don't like certain music being played. I don't like certain conversations. Like people that put their phone on the speaker. Could you please take your phone off? Where's your earphone? Because we don't need your vibration. We don't need. We have enough of our own. This is supposed to be a place of peace and harmony. This is your spa opportunity. So I really am strong on that. And any mentee that I've had, I educate them and tell them like that matters. Set the tone. All that you see your generation doing on social media, doing hair twerking and all that, that's not the vibration that you want over your. This is a business, not a hobby. It's a business. Very lucrative if you do it right, but you got to respect the foundation.
Yeah.
it has to be some rules.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be.
And I know I want to be conscious of time, but real quick, I just have to ask you because with
Okay.
your statement about this is a business, not a hobby, I
Right.
believe as artists, a lot of times we'll get stuck in it being a hobby
Yeah.
for like way too long. So
Mhm.
how were you able to make that switch into, you know what, this is not a hobby, this is a business, or I want this to be a business? How did you make that leap?
So it, of course, it started from just the enjoyment and excitement. That was the hobby part. And
Mm-hmm.
but when I started to see that I was in demand, that turned into a business.
Okay.
When they wanted me
Mm-hmm.
and all of me,
Mm-hmm.
like even if I'm sick, can you still do my hair? Like even when the demand was upon me, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh no, I got to restructure this thing. Like I got to reprice this thing because now I'm being pulled more than I've ever been pulled before. So if I'm going to be pulled and I'm going to give all of me,
Mm-hmm.
then I need to respect who I am, what they're asking for, and I need to require have a certain requirement in return. And
Okay.
I just realized I'm not for sale. This is the price. This is my off day. If you want me to come in on my off day, there's an extra fee. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, why would they? Do you get charged extra to work overtime?
Right.
I need the same respect.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute I became a demand is the minute it became a business.
Okay. Okay, that's gonna help somebody. That's a nugget right there,
Yeah.
y'all. That's a nugget.
Yes. And you gotta take your you gotta take your mindset. It's your mindset. It's your
Mm,
mindset.
mm-hmm.
And so I people would be like, well, let me just come to your house. I don't do hair at home no more. I pay booth rent somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if the booth is not available, if the booth is not open, if the salon's not like respect my way of moving up in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many people that didn't get to come along some along the way. Like some of them got left because they wanted to keep me where they wanted me at. And God was like, oh no, you can't come through this door no more.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I literally I want someone to take this serious, what I'm gonna say right now. No doesn't mean no. I heard a lot of no's.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard people say, oh, just go to the next door, the next door. No. Mm-mm. My philosophy is no means not right now because I had to protect my feelings from being hurt from a no.
Mm-hmm.
It may be not right now, but I'm gonna still work as hard for that next opportunity. And that's how so many doors open up for me because I didn't get resentful because someone
Mm-hmm.
told me no. I didn't get angry. I didn't stop. I didn't get, like, oh, who they gonna tell? It wasn't that. It was like, okay, not right now. But the people that told me no, when they see me today,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm telling them it's because of your no. So you still help me,
Yes.
asshole.
Oh, you still,
But it's
yep.
because of your no. So no means not right now.
Mm-hmm.
It softens the heart, it keeps
Mm-hmm.
us open, and it keeps the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need the no's and the yeses, just like we need the bitter and the sweet, because that's the only
Yes.
way that we're able to really appreciate
Yes.
either one
Exactly.
by being able to experience the other.
Exactly.
That is so good, girl. That is so good. Oh my gosh, it's always so hard to end. I mean, because
I
literally we could just
know.
keep talking and going
And
on
I
and
thought we was
on.
only in the first 15 minutes. What happened?
Girl, I'm about to go make me some chlorophyll water, okay?
Honey, chlorophyll is good. It's good for the blood circulation. Those who are dealing with anemia, chlorophyll, good for the gut, sour gut. It
I
helps.
used to drink it on the regular and then I stopped. So now I'm reminded as you
Yeah,
sipping that,
get
I need to get
back.
back on it.
Yeah, get back to it.
Get back
It's
to it.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you already told us about the website. How else can people follow you, stay in touch with you? Is there any of that information that you want to give us?
Yeah, please. I welcome you on my Instagram page at Botanical7. I am not hard to find. You can Google me by my name or my business name, and I don't switch things up. I simplify it and I keep it's a brand, okay? It's a brand. So botanical7.com, botanical7 on Instagram, Shawne Reddic on Facebook, and Shawne Reddic on Instagram as well. So Shawne Reddic is the hair guru, and Botanical7 is the product and the healing, the holistic healing. So please reach out to me, you guys. I'm looking, and don't just be someone that's just on there. I love to talk, as you can see. Let's engage with each other. Engage, please.
Yes, engage. And you know what? If you found her from this podcast, y'all, you shout us out, y'all. Let her know I heard you on the podcast.
I know, that would be so dope.
It would be.
I'm telling my age by doing this. I'm telling my age.
Are you? That's Arsenio Hall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Girl, we both telling our age. I ain't ashamed. Shoot, the Lord brought me this far.
These young girls. That's why I'm trying to help them. Come get some healing.
They look older than we do. Some of these girls that are only 18.
Girl, they look stressed. I'm like, come, let me help you. Come, let me help you. Let me help you.
Let me help you. All right. Well, shoot, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, huh?
I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And you look beautiful, very beautiful.
As do you. Thank you, girl.
Thank you. Keep it up, honey.
I am so glad that you said yes. Okay, because you're feeding my soul and spirit. Okay.
Oh, great.
Took me up to another level, and I'm excited about those who will listen, who will also be taken up to another level in terms of something.
Let me know where I could listen. I mean, although I'm in the interview, I still want to be able to share.
Girl, I'm going to send you all the links.
Okay, good.
All the links, okay?
Anytime you want me back, honey, I will put my crown on.
Put it on. Yes. Everybody listening is a witness. She said she's going to come back on. She said she's going to come back on.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I do. I'm so excited for you.
All right, girl. Well, I love you. Let me get ready to wrap it up. You know what? You all have been listening to For the Artists. This has been a special Women Crush Wednesday edition because Shawne Reddic is crushing it out here, okay? Going deep. And we went deep with her today. So, yeah, until the next episode, I want y'all to keep creating from the inside out. I've been your host, Melissa Cherie. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Bye.